You walk into your local supermarket and grab the same loaf you have bought for years. Soft, convenient, familiar. But that bread is systematically dismantling your body's ability to regulate blood sugar, build healthy bones, and maintain a functioning gut. 10 UK brands are selling refined flour and processed additives disguised as everyday staples. Number 1. The brioche loaves trusted by families contain more sugar than dessert, but stay until the end. 5 brands actually prove bread does not have to betray you. Starting at number 10, Warburton's Toasty White. This soft loaf in millions of lunchboxes contains heavily refined white flour. The processing strips away fiber, bran, and germ, leaving pure starch, essentially sugar. Your bloodstream reacts like you've consumed a sugary drink. Blood glucose spikes rapidly. Your pancreas floods your system with insulin. For people managing type 2 diabetes, this daily consumption accelerates metabolic decline. The constant glucose spikes damage blood vessels over time. Your arteries stiffen. Cardiovascular disease develops silently. What makes Warburton's concerning? The marketing positions this as a family staple, yet the nutritional profile is closer to processed sugar than actual grain. 2 slices contain minimal fiber. You finish eating and hunger returns within an hour. The refined starch crashes your blood sugar, leaving you exhausted and craving more carbohydrates by mid-morning. This bread destabilizes your body. But if Warburton's refined simplicity concerned you, this next brand hides additional problems beneath similar soft packaging. At number 9, Hovis Soft White Medium. The heritage brand, suggesting British tradition, exploits that trust. Hovis contains refined wheat flour with minimal nutritional intervention. Refined white bread feeds harmful bacteria in your microbiome preferentially. The processed starch provides zero-resistant fiber your beneficial bacteria need. Pathogenic species proliferate instead. Your gut dysbiosis worsens. Harmful bacteria outnumber helpful ones. Your intestinal barrier weakens. Bloating, irregular digestion, and food sensitivities develop. Your immune system becomes hyperactive, managing the imbalanced ecosystem. Chronic inflammation throughout your digestive tract develops. Beyond microbiome destruction, Hovis Soft White provides virtually zero fiber. Digestive transit slows, waste accumulates in your colon longer, increasing toxic compound reabsorption. Your liver works overtime processing toxins your colon recycles into your bloodstream. The heritage branding creates false confidence whilst your gut ecosystem collapses silently. And if microbiome disruption disturbed you, the next brand creates a completely different physiological nightmare. At number 8, Kingsmill Soft White. Industrial white bread positioned as family-friendly. Soft texture, perfect for children. Except there is nothing easy about what it does to developing bodies. Kingsmill is refined flour, stripped of nutrients, then fortified with synthetic vitamins. This is nutritional theatre. Synthetic vitamins do not restore the mineral profile of intact grains. Refined flour lacks magnesium, the mineral controlling hundreds of enzymatic processes. Children develop poor bone mineralization during crucial developmental years. Osteoporosis risk increases decades later. Refined bread contains almost zero zinc. Zinc deficiency impairs immune function during years children build lifelong immunity. Infections become more frequent. The synthetic vitamins cannot compensate. Synthetic B1 does not deliver the same biological effect as natural B1 alongside mineral cofactors. Children eating Kingsmill regularly develop nutritional deficiencies despite consuming calories. They appear fed but are biochemically malnourished. Teachers notice children getting sick frequently. Nobody traces it back to the bread packed in lunchboxes daily. But if childhood nutrient depletion alarmed you, wait until you see systemic inflammation. Stop. You have just heard about 3 brands. All exploit the same weakness, your trust in supermarket staples. But it gets worse. The next brands do not just strip nutrients, they actively add chemicals your body cannot process. Keep watching. At number 7, Tesco Soft White Toasty. Britain's biggest supermarket sells this soft white loaf at eye level because convenience overrides label reading. This bread triggers an inflammatory cascade your body cannot control. Refined flour removes the outer bran layer that contains polyphenols, potent anti-inflammatory molecules. Without those compounds, starch converts to glucose unchecked. blood glucose spikes. Glucose attaches to proteins, a process called glycation. These damaged protein glucose complexes become inflammatory messengers. Over weeks of daily consumption, chronic inflammation builds in your joints. Arthritis develops earlier. Your knees ache, your back stiffens. Inflammation also affects arterial walls. Endothelial cells become irritated and more permeable. LDL cholesterol penetrates deeper into artery walls and plaque formation accelerates. The refined carbohydrates trigger inflammatory cascades in your brain. Neuroinflammation increases. Cognitive clarity declines. Brain fog becomes normal. You feel tired despite sleeping. You struggle to concentrate. Your memory feels fuzzy. These are not signs of aging, they are signs of chronic dietary inflammation. Tesco positions this bread as convenient. It is convenient inflammation delivery, but at least Tesco offers alternatives. This next supermarket's bread makes even budget choices look problematic. Number 6. Sainsbury's medium white bread. Sainsbury's markets itself as the thinking shopper's supermarket, yet their white bread demonstrates how marketing claims divorce from nutritional reality. Sainsbury's medium white contains refined flour plus multiple emulsifiers, holding the structure together after processing strips away natural gluten networks. Emulsifiers like polysorbate 80 and lecithin disrupt your gut barrier integrity. These compounds integrate into your intestinal lining, making it permeable. Partially digested food particles leak into your bloodstream. Your immune system treats these particles as invaders. Antibody production increases. Inflammatory responses activate throughout your body. Food sensitivities develop. Dairy, gluten, eggs suddenly bother you. None of these caused reactions before your gut barrier degraded. Emulsifier damage disrupts tight junctions between intestinal cells. Bacteria and toxins cross directly into your bloodstream. Your liver becomes overwhelmed filtering bacterial endotoxins. You develop unexplained joint pain. Skin conditions appear. Energy crashes. You are diagnosed with autoimmune conditions that seem spontaneous. The causation to daily bread consumption never gets made. Sainsbury's adds emulsifiers because they extend shelf life. The convenience benefits Sainsbury's. Health costs accumulate in your body. But if gut barrier disruption troubled you, this next budget chain creates problems through different ingredient manipulation entirely. Quick reset. You might think budget brands are the only culprits. You would be wrong. The next 3 brands prove that discount pricing isn't the problem. Corporate deception is. At number 5, Aldi Village Bakery White Toasty. Aldi positions itself as budget conscious. The Village Bakery branding suggests artisanal production. Reality is industrial processing optimized for shelf stability. Village Bakery White Toasty contains refined flour plus dough improvers designed to extend shelf life and maintain softness through weeks of storage. Here is what these processing aids do to your thyroid. Many dough improvers contain bromides, compounds that accumulate in your thyroid tissue. Bromide displaces iodine. Your thyroid cannot function without iodine. Thyroid hormone production declines. Your metabolism slows. Weight gain accelerates despite no diet changes. Your energy plummets. Brain fog sets in. Women suffer particularly. Thyroid dysfunction during reproductive years affects fertility. Hormone regulation becomes erratic. Menstrual cycles become irregular or painful. The bromide accumulation builds slowly. 3 months of daily consumption creates noticeable thyroid suppression. By year 2, thyroid disease develops. Aldi never discloses bromide content because regulations do not require specific labeling of dough improvers. Beyond bromide, Village Bakery contains potassium sorbate that accumulates in adipose tissue. These compounds disrupt hormone signaling. Weight accumulates around the midsection despite diet and exercise. And if thyroid disruption alarmed you, this next brand combines refined flour with additional processing, creating multiple simultaneous damage. At number 4, Lidl Rowan Hill White Bread. Lidl's own brand bread positioned as a budget staple. The packaging displays grain imagery. The ingredient list tells a different story. Rowan Hill White Bread contains refined flour, multiple preservatives, emulsifiers, and dough conditioners, creating a particularly problematic synergistic effect in your cardiovascular system. Refined flour provides no fiber. Your cholesterol regulation system cannot function without dietary fiber. Soluble fiber binds cholesterol in your digestive tract. Without adequate fiber, your liver's workload increases dramatically. The emulsifiers further damage your endothelial function, the protective lining of your blood vessels. Damaged cells become sticky. LDL cholesterol particles adhere to damaged areas and initiate plaque formation. The combination creates cardiovascular disaster in slow motion. Your blood pressure rises gradually. By age 50, you are managing hypertension. Your cholesterol becomes harder to control. You require statins. Your arterial flexibility declines. What makes Lidl particularly troubling is scale. Their ingredient decisions affect millions simultaneously. Cost savings flow to their bottom line. Health costs accumulate in your cardiovascular system. Beyond cardiovascular damage, preservatives interfere with your gut's ability to produce short-chain fatty acids, compounds that nourish your colon lining. Your colon becomes inflamed and permeable. Colorectal disease risk increases. But marketing deception reaches another level with this next brand. Here's something that should alarm you. Every brand you've heard uses refinement or chemical processing, but the next three take deception to a completely different level. They market themselves as healthy while delivering the exact opposite of what their labels promise. If this is opening your eyes to what's really in your bread, hit subscribe right now. Every week we expose what major brands are hiding on their ingredient lists. Drop a comment if you recognize any of these brands in your kitchen. Let's see how many people have been eating this without knowing. At number 3, Kingsmill 50/50. Here is where marketing creates genuine danger through false health claims. Kingsmill 50/50 blends white flour with brown flour, creating the visual appearance of healthier bread. The packaging markets it as balanced. The pack even displays a 50% whole grain promise. That promise is deceptive marketing theatre. The 50% refers to weight ratio, not nutritional benefit. Brown flour is merely white flour with bran and germ added back after processing strips them away. This is nutritionally inferior to actual intact whole grain. The bran reintegration does not restore the micronutrient profile. Magnesium, manganese, and phosphorus remain depleted. Consumers believe they are making healthier choices, but they consume the same nutritional emptiness with added marketing manipulation. The psychological effect is more damaging than the physical effect alone. People choosing Kingsmill 50/50 believe they have optimized their bread choice. This false confidence prevents them from seeking genuinely nutritious alternatives. Over years, this false security compounds. The thought, "I am already eating healthy bread," becomes a justification for not improving other dietary areas. Meanwhile, blood glucose dysregulation continues. Micronutrient deficiency persists. Inflammatory cascades progress. Beyond deception, Kingsmill 50/50 contains added sugar, which masks the bitter taste of reintegrated bran. The sugar provides empty calories without satiety. You consume more, you gain weight. The healthy bread accelerates metabolic dysfunction. But if false health claims angered you, the next brand adds chemical softness agents creating digestive problems nobody traces back to bread. At number 2, Warburton's Danish White. Warburton's premium offering. Danish branding suggests European quality. The packaging conveys luxury. The ingredient reality is maximum chemical intervention for extreme softness and extended shelf life. Danish White contains refined flour plus multiple softness agents and preservatives designed to maintain a pillowy texture through weeks of storage. Real bread becomes firm as it ages. Warburton's Danish White resists this through chemistry. The softness agents integrate into your bread and digestive system. These compounds, monoglycerides and synthetic emulsifiers, coat your intestinal lining when consumed. This coating reduces your gut's absorptive surface area. Nutrients pass through without being absorbed. You consume calories without receiving nutritional benefit. Your nutrient status declines despite eating regularly. You develop deficiency-based conditions despite adequate food intake. The coating prevents beneficial bacteria from accessing mucus layer components they need. Bacterial short-chain fatty acid production declines. Your colon loses critical anti-inflammatory protection. Inflammatory bowel conditions develop. Beyond the coating, Danish White contains diacetyl, a butter flavoring compound linked to respiratory issues in occupational settings. Ingested through bread, it creates lower-level inflammatory responses in your respiratory tract. People eating Danish White regularly develop subtle respiratory dysfunction. Chronic cough, Shortness of breath with minimal exertion. The premium positioning makes the damage particularly cruel. You are paying extra for bread that damages you more effectively than budget alternatives, but even Warburton's cannot match what comes next. Taking the #1 spot as the worst bread you can buy in Britain: Tesco brioche loaf and Sainsbury's brioche loaf. This isn't bread. This is dessert masquerading as a staple carbohydrate. Brioche loaves contain refined flour plus added sugar, sometimes 8 grams per 100 grams. That's approaching biscuit-level sugar content. Sliced as breakfast toast, brioche delivers a metabolic shock equivalent to eating cake before noon. Your blood glucose spikes catastrophically. Your insulin response becomes extreme. Your pancreas floods your system trying to manage the surge. This creates metabolic damage accumulating through the day. For people managing type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes, brioche bread is actively dangerous. Consuming this daily sabotages glucose management more effectively than most processed foods. The sugar also feeds pathogenic bacteria preferentially. Harmful bacteria proliferate. Your microbiome becomes hostile to your health. Beyond glucose devastation, brioche contains added butter or oil, creating a high-fat, high-sugar product. This overwhelms your digestive system. Bile production struggles, fat-soluble toxin processing declines, your liver becomes burdened, filtering unnecessary fat load from a product positioned as bread. Brioche loaves sit in the bread aisle. Parents select them believing they are buying staple carbohydrates. They're actually buying sugar delivery systems. Children consuming brioche regularly develop hyperglycemia patterns. Blood glucose dysregulation establishes during crucial developmental windows. Type 2 diabetes risk increases substantially. Brioche represents complete abandonment of actual nutrition. This is where the betrayal becomes personal. After exposing those 10 industrial disasters, here is genuine hope for anyone who still believes bread should mean bread. These 5 brands prove real grain, traditional fermentation, and actual nutrition still exist in British supermarkets. No refined flour, no added sugar, no chemical softness agents, just seeds. Sourdough. Fiber. Real bread doing what bread should do. At number 5, Sainsbury's Esso Organic Wholemeal Tin Loaf. Sainsbury's proves their premium range can deliver genuine quality when prioritizing ingredients. This loaf contains organic wholemeal wheat flour as the primary ingredient. Organic certification means 0 synthetic pesticides, no glyphosate residues, no herbicide drift. The wholemeal flour retains the bran and germ, nutrient-dense components containing magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, and fiber that refined loaves remove. The fiber content, roughly 6 grams per 100 grams, provides resistant starch that preferentially feeds beneficial bacteria. Dysbiosis reverses, harmful bacteria populations decline. Your microbiome begins healing from years of refined bread damage. The magnesium in wholemeal activates hundreds of enzymatic reactions. Muscle function improves, anxiety decreases, sleep quality improves, bone mineralization strengthens. Organic certification prohibits routine antibiotic use in grain production. You are not consuming antibiotic residues that damage your gut bacteria. The yeast fermentation produces some sourdough-like benefits through lactic acid production. Lactic acid improves mineral bioavailability. Your body absorbs more magnesium and zinc. What makes Sainsbury's Esso particularly accessible is availability and affordability. Premium ingredients without premium pricing. For anyone transitioning from refined bread, this loaf provides genuine nutritional benefits whilst remaining convenient. But if organic certification impressed you, wait until you see what happens when farmers add multiple seeds and traditional sourdough fermentation. At number 4, Aldi Specially Selected Dark Rye Sourdough. Aldi's premium range demonstrates that budget supermarkets can source exceptional bread when committing to quality. Dark rye sourdough contains primarily rye flour, a grain with substantially higher fiber and nutrient density than wheat. Rye contains compounds that slow glucose absorption more effectively than wheat. Traditional sourdough fermentation introduces lactic acid bacteria during a multi-day process, and these bacteria transform the bread. They produce organic acids that improve mineral bioavailability. Your body absorbs magnesium more efficiently from sourdough than from commercial yeast bread, and the same applies to iron, zinc, and other critical minerals. The bacteria partially break down gluten proteins during long fermentation, so partially hydrolyzed gluten is easier for your digestive system. People with gluten sensitivity often tolerate sourdough without problems, not because it is gluten-free, but because fermentation makes gluten more digestible. The lactic acid reduces phytic acid in rye grain, a compound that normally binds minerals. Less phytic acid means more mineral availability, so your body actually receives the nutrients. The rye flour provides higher protein than wheat, which contributes to greater satiety. You end up consuming fewer calories despite eating bread. The fiber content creates prebiotic effects. Your beneficial bacteria ferment resistant starch, producing short-chain fatty acids that nourish your colon lining. For anyone transitioning from refined bread, this loaf provides dramatic physiological improvement within weeks. At number 3, Lidl seeded sourdough loaf. But if rye sourdough impressed you, the next brand takes transparency and seed density further. Lidl's sourdough contains rye and wheat flour fermented traditionally, plus multiple seeds, sunflower, pumpkin, and flax, providing additional nutritional density. Seeds transform bread from carbohydrate source into a complete nutritional package. Sunflower seeds contribute vitamin E, a fat-soluble antioxidant protecting cell membranes. They also provide linoleic acid, essential for proper cellular function. Alongside sourdough's lactic acid, linoleic acid absorption improves. Pumpkin seeds provide magnesium and manganese in concentrated form. A single serving delivers meaningful mineral content refined bread cannot approach. Flax seeds contribute lignans, phytoestrogens supporting hormone balance, particularly for women experiencing hormonal transitions. They also provide additional fiber, improving prebiotic function. The combination creates synergistic nutritional effects. Magnesium from seeds combines with magnesium from rye. Your body receives cumulative mineral benefit. Muscle function improves. Sleep deepens. Anxiety decreases. Antioxidants from seeds combine with antioxidants from fermentation. Your cellular oxidative stress decreases. Aging processes slow visibly. Your skin quality improves. The diverse fiber types feed different bacterial species preferentially. Your microbiome develops healthy diversity. Dysbiosis reverses more rapidly than from non-seeded bread. Lidl's seeded sourdough demonstrates that cost-effective bread delivers exceptional nutrition. Seeds cost less than chemical softness agents refined bread requires. For people dealing with chronic inflammation or metabolic dysfunction from years of refined bread, this loaf provides measurable improvement within weeks. But there's one brand combining everything: organic certification, multiple seeds, traditional sourdough, and complete ingredient transparency. You've now seen 3 safe brands, each one better than the last. Each one delivering measurable health improvement within weeks of switching from refined bread. But there are 2 brands that stand apart, combining everything that works into the most nutritionally dense loaves available at scale in British supermarkets. The next 2 represent the absolute peak of what bread can deliver to your body. At number 2, Celtic Baker's Organic Multi-Seed Sourdough. Celtic Bakers represents the intersection of accessibility and genuine nutritional excellence. It is available in major supermarket chains, it is organic certified, and it uses genuinely traditional sourdough fermentation. This loaf contains organic wholemeal wheat flour and multiple seeds: sunflower, linseed, and pumpkin. Extended sourdough fermentation creates optimal nutrient density. The organic certification guarantees 0 synthetic pesticide residues. Your digestive system does not have to fight herbicide contamination while absorbing nutrients. The multi-seed combination provides comprehensive micronutrient coverage. Sunflower seeds provide vitamin E and selenium. Linseeds provide omega-3 fatty acids and lignans. Pumpkin seeds provide manganese and magnesium. Together, these seeds transform the bread into a complete nutritional contribution toward your daily requirements. The sourdough fermentation optimizes bioavailability of every nutrient. The lactic acid reduces phytic acid. The bacteria partially break down gluten and proteins. Your digestive system receives pre-digested nutrition. Within days of transitioning from refined bread to Celtic Bakers, your blood glucose stabilization improves. Afternoon crashes disappear, your focus sharpens, your mood stabilizes. Within weeks, digestive symptoms resolve. Bloating decreases, regularity improves, your gut barrier heals. Within months, objective health markers shift, weight normalizes, inflammation decreases measurably, sleep deepens, skin clarity improves. This is systemic physiological restoration that comes from removing inflammatory foods from your daily diet. and replacing them with genuinely nourishing bread. Celtic Bakers proves mainstream supermarkets can stock bread that truly nourishes your body. But there is one brand that surpasses even Celtic Bakers. Taking the top spot as the best bread you can buy in Britain, Bayona organic rye bread, chia and flax. This loaf represents the absolute pinnacle of bread nutrition achievable at scale in mainstream distribution. Bayona contains organic whole-grain rye flour as the primary ingredient, a grain significantly superior to wheat in fiber, mineral density, and glucose impact. Rye naturally slows glucose absorption, preventing blood sugar spikes. The sourdough fermentation extends over multiple days, optimizing lactic acid production and mineral bioavailability. Then comes the innovation: chia and flax seeds. Chia seeds contain soluble fiber that absorbs water and creates a viscous paste in your digestive tract, dramatically slowing nutrient absorption. This prevents blood glucose spikes entirely. Your glucose rises gradually and smoothly without excessive insulin response. Chia contains omega-3 fatty acids that reduce systemic inflammation. Your cardiovascular health improves, your joint pain decreases, your cognitive function sharpens. Flax seeds provide additional omega-3s plus lignans that support hormone balance. The fiber feeds beneficial bacteria preferentially. The combination creates nutritional synergy impossible with any single ingredient. Here is what Bayona delivers physiologically: pure glucose stability, no spikes, no crashes. Your energy sustains throughout the day. Complete microbiome restoration. Dysbiosis reverses. Your beneficial bacteria thrive, your intestinal barrier heals, food sensitivities resolve, systemic inflammation decreases measurably, joint pain resolves, brain fog clears, mood stabilizes, weight normalizes naturally without calorie restriction. The ingredient list contains 10 items, all recognizable, all organic, nothing chemically synthesized. This is bread done completely right. No refinement, no deception, no hidden processing. Bayona proves commercial success does not require ingredient betrayal. Number 1, without question. 10 loaves engineered to damage you silently. 5 that actually nourish your body. Check your bread bin right now. Is one of the worst 10 sitting there? If this opened your eyes like this video, drop a comment naming the brand that shocked you most and subscribe so you never buy health-sabotaging bread again. Your body deserves real grain, real fermentation, real nutrition. Stop eating bread designed for profit. Start eating bread designed for health.